Welcome to the Future Lab. I'm your host, Matthew. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating research paper that's revolutionizing how we grow single-walled carbon nanotubes, or SWCNTs for short. These tiny tubes, smaller than a nanometer in some cases, have incredible electrical properties, making them highly sought after in electronics and beyond. The challenge? Producing them reliably at scale has been a real hurdle for researchers. But a team has made some incredible progress using something called the Autonomous Research System, or ARES. Pretty cool name, right? This research is so important because getting a handle on reliably producing these tiny structures could unlock a huge leap in all sorts of technology. This episode will first give you a high-level overview of the research's goals, then we'll drill down into the nitty-gritty technical details of their approach, followed by a look at the real-world applications, and finally we'll wrap things up with the key findings and a glimpse into the future. And before we start, I want to let you know that this episode's script was partly generated using an AI language model. It's a little meta, I know, but it perfectly highlights the very technology we're discussing today. How about that? So, let's get started. The core problem this research addresses is the difficulty of selectively producing small-diameter SWCNTs, those below 1 nanometer in diameter. These are crucial because their smaller size directly leads to a larger band gap, a critical characteristic for many applications in advanced electronics. Existing methods typically produce a broad distribution of SWCNT diameters, making it hard to isolate and utilize the desirable small diameter ones efficiently. This paper presents a promising solution using an automated system. The researchers use something called the Autonomous Research System, ARES, to really accelerate their experimentation and data collection. The beauty of ARES is its ability to run hundreds of experiments quickly, allowing for a comprehensive exploration of different growth parameters. This speed allowed the team to discover trends that might have been missed with traditional, slower methods. We'll discuss the specifics of ARES and its capabilities in more detail in our next segment. Let's get into the specifics of this research paper, High-Throughput Experimentation for Selective Growth of Small-Diameter Single-Wall Carbon Nanotubes Using RU-Promoted Company Catalysts. The authors, Everhart et al., directly address the challenge of efficiently producing those smaller diameter SWCNTs. As we discussed, current methods struggle to yield a consistent size of nanotubes, hindering the use of their amazing electrical properties. This study uses a clever approach by employing the Autonomous Research System, or ARES. ARES is key here because it's not just about growing SWCNTs, it's about automating the entire process, enabling high-throughput experimentation. This is a game changer. Think about it, instead of running a few experiments over weeks, ARES allows for hundreds of experiments in a much shorter time frame. This automated approach drastically speeds up the research cycle. The core idea is to improve the selectivity of growing the small-diameter SWCNTs, the ones below 1 nanometer, by using a special catalyst, a combination of cobalt and ruthenium. The ruthenium acts as a promoter, significantly altering the catalyst's behavior. The really exciting finding here is that adding even a tiny amount of ruthenium to the cobalt catalyst dramatically increased the yield of those highly desirable small-diameter nanotubes. We're talking more than doubling the yield compared to using just cobalt alone. That's a huge improvement in efficiency. So, we have a clear improvement in yield. But what was the mechanism behind this success? How did the addition of ruthenium have such a dramatic impact? That's the question we'll tackle next, when we look at the methodology employed in the study. It involves a fascinating combination of experimental techniques and computational modeling, which we'll cover next. This high-level understanding of the results now naturally sets the stage to explore the more technical details. We'll dive into how ARES works, the specifics of the catalyst synthesis, and the characterization methods used to measure the SWCNT diameters, focusing on Raman spectroscopy. Get ready for a deep dive into the science. Now let's get into the technical heart of this research. The researchers didn't just stumble upon this improved SWCNT growth, they used a sophisticated system and methodology. Central to their success was ARES, an automated high-throughput system that uses laser-induced chemical vapor deposition, or CVD. ARES is not your grandfather's CVD system. This isn't just about depositing carbon, it's about doing it rapidly and repeatedly. ARES uses a laser to heat tiny silicon micropillars, each acting as a kind of microreactor, with the catalyst material on top. This method allows them to rapidly heat and cool each pillar, a significant improvement over traditional approaches which often require lengthy heating and cooling cycles. And here's where it gets really interesting. The key innovation lies in the catalyst itself. The researchers didn't use a standard cobalt catalyst. Instead, they created a bimetallic catalyst by adding a very thin layer of ruthenium on top of the cobalt. This seemingly small addition had a huge impact on the outcome. The entire growth process is continuously monitored using in situ Raman spectroscopy. This technique is brilliant because it provides real-time feedback on the diameter of the growing SWCNTs. This allows the researchers to adjust the growth parameters on the fly to optimize for small diameters. One challenge the team faced was ensuring the ruthenium was evenly distributed across the cobalt catalyst. Inconsistent distribution could lead to variations in SWCNT diameter, even within the same experiment. The researchers addressed this with a careful synthesis method, but still, variation is inherent. To achieve that high level of control, they performed over 200 experiments. The sheer scale of the data speaks to the power of ARES for accelerating materials discovery. By analyzing the data from all these experiments, they saw a clear shift toward smaller diameter SWCNTs when using the Ru-promoted cobalt catalyst. But the story doesn't end with the experiments. The researchers also used density functional theory, or DFT, calculations to model the atomic level interactions between the ruthenium and cobalt atoms in the catalyst. DFT allowed them to explain why adding ruthenium is so effective. The calculations demonstrated that Ru increases the cohesive energy of the catalyst, reducing sintering and promoting smaller nanoparticles. Smaller nanoparticles lead to smaller diameter SWCNTs. This combination of experimental work and computational modeling is where the true power of this research lies. We'll transition to how these findings translate into practical applications in the next section. This detailed look at the methods brings us to the application of their new process for generating SWCNTs. Let's explore what impact this breakthrough could have on the world of technology. Now that we've explored the technical details, let's look at the bigger picture, the real-world implications of this breakthrough. This isn't just about a clever lab technique, it has the potential to transform several industries. The ability to produce large quantities of small diameter SWCNTs, consistently and efficiently, is a game changer for advanced electronics. Think about high-performance transistors, flexible displays, and other devices where the precise control of SWCNT diameters is crucial for optimal performance. This research brings us much closer to the mass production of such devices. But the potential applications extend beyond electronics. These SWCNTs could revolutionize clean energy technologies. Their unique properties make them ideal for use in high-capacity batteries, highly efficient solar cells, and other energy-related applications. The ability to control the diameter allows for fine-tuning the SWCNT properties for optimal energy storage and transfer. And let's not forget the potential for advanced sensors. Small diameter SWCNTs can be incredibly sensitive detectors of various molecules and environmental changes. This opens up opportunities for highly sensitive and selective sensors in healthcare, environmental monitoring, and many other fields. Beyond specific applications, this research has a profound impact on the broader field of materials science. It showcases the power of automated experimentation. The speed and efficiency of ARES allow researchers to explore a vastly larger parameter space than was previously feasible, accelerating the discovery of new materials with tailored properties. Imagine a future where autonomous systems, robots guided by AI, design, synthesize, and test novel materials, virtually eliminating the time-consuming and often costly trial and error approach of traditional materials science. This research brings that future significantly closer to reality. It's a massive step toward automating a field that has traditionally been very hands-on. Another crucial aspect is the scalability of this method. The use of readily available feedstocks is key here. The process doesn't rely on rare or expensive materials, which makes it more sustainable and economically viable for large-scale production. This is essential for making these technologies widely accessible. All these points bring us to the concluding remarks. Now, let's summarize everything we've learned about this fascinating research and look toward the future. So, to wrap things up, let's recap the key takeaways from this exciting research. We've explored how automating the synthesis of single-walled carbon nanotubes, or SWCNTs, using the Autonomous Research System, ARES, has led to a significant breakthrough. The study demonstrated that using a ruthenium-promoted cobalt catalyst dramatically increases the selectivity for those smaller diameter SWCNTs. This is a game changer because, as we've discussed, these smaller nanotubes have unique electrical properties vital for many advanced technologies. The researchers cleverly combined in situ Raman spectroscopy for real-time monitoring of the growth process and density functional theory, or DFT, calculations to understand the atomic level interactions within the catalyst. This powerful combination of experimental work and computational modeling is what allowed them to pinpoint the reasons behind the improved selectivity. The result? A much higher yield of small diameter SWCNTs, opening up a wide range of applications from high-performance electronics and flexible devices to advanced sensors and clean energy technologies. This research isn't just about improving one process, it showcases the accelerating power of AI-driven materials discovery. But this is just the beginning. This work lays the foundation for future research to further refine these methods and explore different catalyst combinations to achieve even greater efficiency and selectivity. Who knows what amazing materials we might be able to create with these advances? This research underscores the incredible potential of automated experimentation, computational modeling, and AI-driven insights to accelerate the pace of materials discovery, ushering in a new era of innovation. And remember, this episode itself was partly AI-assisted, demonstrating the very technology we discussed today. Thank you for tuning into the Future Lab. Join us next time for another fascinating glimpse into the future of AI-driven science. Until then, stay curious.